Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage. Some people absolutely love it, and some people despise it. You have Long Legs, you have other freaking movies, but now we have The Surfer. Did I like this movie? And the answer is, I kind of did. Chase Lehocky here with the Blue Futon, reviewing The Surfer. So what's about pretty simple premise? Nicolas Cage is an American, going back to Australia to his roots of where he was born. Something happened to his dad, but he wants that property so bad to have his family, even though his family's probably not going to come back, and his son just to have a good spot, to have a family bonding moment and surf. However, it's a locals only beach, and Nicolas Cage is about to go through hell and back of if it's actually real or mentally just a fuckery show. And like I said, I think I really dug this movie. I was a little nervous though. Like when the movie was going along, I'm like, oh God, it's going to be ambiguous, isn't it? And it's not. So when the ending does come, I was happy. I enjoyed the ride because I knew what would happen. I was guessing. I was like, okay, true, not true, not true, not. And luckily, when the credits rolled, you knew what was true and you won't know what wasn't true. But getting along that way was a freaking roller coaster ride of like who the town folks, the coffee shop man, the homeless guy in the Subaru, the photographer, the girl that's like, ooh, guys need to let off some steam, the banker, the cop, the teenagers, all just meshed up in this boiling kettle pot, just ready to freaking explode. Because my God, once it does explode, you're like, okay, here we freaking go. So positives, Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage completely works 10 freaking fold of him giving some pretty damn good, acting chops in this movie. The locals, the teenagers, all are sleazy characters, and they're supposed to be sleazy characters, and I really dig that. The mind fuck of this movie of eat the rat, don't eat the rat, dog shit, where's the watch, where's the car, where's my phone, who's the banker, is the banker real or not, who are all these actors in this movie, and what are they giving to the end of the film? And when it came that way, I was like, yes. There was one scene, I say, because the whole time I'm like, okay, this is going this route, right? But some character comes along and kind of like, okay, so maybe this isn't what I thought it was, and it's going down this correct path, and it does. But this is truly a mind fuck movie about, I would say about community and what you're willing to do to get what you want. What sacrifices, because there's a big metaphor, okay, not a metaphor in this movie, that's completely wrong, but a saying in this movie is, to surf, you need to suffer. To surf, you need to suffer. And I thought, okay, that's kind of cool because surf, suffer is almost spelled the same way. But it's a bigger metaphor of if you want to succeed in life, if you want to have something, you probably need to suffer to understand the consequences, to understand what you're actually getting in return. Because some people probably had it easier in life than other people, of like drugs and things like that. Like, for example, LeBron James, did he have it hard growing up? Maybe. Did his kids have it hard growing up? Fuck no. So you have it that way. Did Michael Jordan? Probably. Did his kids? Fuck no. And you have it the same way with the Nepo babies in Hollywood and things like that. And who'd you know? Like Drew Barrymore being like the cousin or godfather, Steven Spielberg probably didn't have it hard growing up. Like Chris Pratt probably had it harder because he really had to struggle to get where he's at. So you have it in all aspects of life, in every state, in every country in the world of, some people suffer, but I think the people that suffer to get from point A to point B to really get to point C probably understand life and just humility a little bit more than other freaking people. Also, like, you could say like 40, 50-year-old politicians probably haven't suffered a lot through life because every time they like get even only 2 years, they get a pension, they get a retirement check out of the government. So it's pretty freaking like, yeah. But okay, what I liked about this movie, like I said, is the look, the feel, and just the whole what the fuck factor of like, is everything true or what is not true in this movie? What I didn't like in this movie is sometimes it is mean-spirited, and you're trying to wonder where this movie is trying to go and what is true and what real, what is not. But like I said, when the ending arrives, the mean-spiritedness, I could understand it, but at the same time, you're just like, is this really a plausible factor of like the rat and the car being on fire and other things to that level? Because of there is a backstory as well with this bum about his kid and a dog, and you're trying to figure out like what actually occurred and what didn't. Also with Nicolas Cage's background with his father, because there is a background of what is happening with some of these characters in the past, and I do wish some of it was more fleshed out when dealing with the past of Nicolas Cage and what happened to his father. And you kind of think you know what happened, but then you kind of second guess yourself as well. So there's a lot of second guessing in this movie. You just got to figure out what is true and what is not. So overall, The Surfer, I have a feeling this is kind of like when I just watched recently. Critics are probably going to like it. Audiences are not going to like this movie. And like I was with audience with another movie I just watched, which was Bonjour Touché, I think I'm going to be with the critics for The Surfer. So The Surfer will receive a 4 out of 5 Futons, which equals that 80%. So let's see the critics and user scores gave this one. Critics, a 86%, and I was right. Audience score 45% with over 100 of them, and a 103 critics. Critic consensus. Nicolas Cage expertly rides the waves of toxic masculinity in the sand-filled arena of torment. I wouldn't call this toxic masculinity. That gets thrown out so much about, this is more about community and things like that. Because, I mean, kids were involved in this, women and things like that. This is all about tribalism, not masculinity. Get it right, critics. Consensus. 80, 86, 45. Chase like here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One of these Booftopia. You Booftonians. Thank you for watching. A great down. Can watch this today, tomorrow, week from every single freaking one of you. And I think I'd be a shitty surfer because I tried skateboarding and I just wasn't good at that at all.